All right. Welcome to WDL Radio. Sorry about that. I mistimed when the song would end, so I wasn't even at my computer. Uh, how's it going, Rust?
Oh, it's going good for this European edition of audio, or sorry, WDO radio.
It can be IDL Radio. We can do that if we want.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, European edition. So we are in the middle of week 3 now. We've completed week 1 and week 2 of this season. So week 2 of the WDL was played on Natty's map, which has a name, Grayscale. Um, and let's throw up the standings real quick. But I mean, give your sort of like first impressions on Grayscale as a map itself. I mean, yeah, I would love to hear
Well,
your unvarnished thoughts on that.
all right. So when I looked at it from a mapper standpoint, I didn't really care for it, and then when I played it, I definitely didn't care for it even more. I don't think that it offered any kind of gameplay that was variable when compared to week one. I think they sort of played very similar and played to the strengths and weaknesses of the same teams in the same way that week one did. The only difference is that I think the week one's map is a better map overall. Uh, this one just wasn't that fun to play. I mean, everybody kind of applied the same strategies, right? And then when you look at the results of the games, I don't feel that this week had a game of the week, to be honest. Week one, you could say that a game of the week was B and Z versus LD, right? Because it went 3 rounds and it could have ended in a tie, and there was nothing like this. Every game was 2-0 across
Yeah.
the board. So I'm just glad it's over with. Um, I save my thoughts about this week's map for later on. But
Yeah, I mean,
it could have been worse. I mean, it was all right. It just didn't really offer anything different.
I would agree with that. And it's not that I dislike the map at all because I think on its own it's good. I think when you start off a season like that, I mean, to be honest, I also think that our particular matchups were pretty difficult both weeks. But yeah, when you start off with like Sanctum, which is full straight on, just frag, and then you go to Grayscale, which is again frag. Um, the difference that it offers, I guess, maybe is just a little bit more of a flat, playing surface and a lot more visibility on the entire team potentially. So, but it is still very frag heavy kind of play. So, certainly different teams this season, have been able to take advantage of that over others. So, yeah, I mean, going from week 1 to week 2, uh, kind of the same sort of mapping style, which is fine. And like you said, week 3 completely different. So you get 2 in a row, and then you get 3, and it flips it all on its head. So um, jumping into the games for week 2, the first one, well, actually, I do have the standings up for a reason, but we can take a quick look at the standings first and then jump into the individual games. But right now, Plex and Bodyguards are sitting on top with 8 points. So, I mean, both of those teams, they have played 4 rounds. That's it. They have decisively won every game they've played so far, and in pretty quick time. And if you look at them, really, like they've they've all scored. Both teams have scored 18 flags. They've only had 2 flags scored against them. They're pretty close in the frags, fairly close in damage, fairly close in time. So right now, those two teams, have really kind of honestly, they've taken the top spot in this league so far. And then going down to Suck, Suck played BG Bodyguards in week 1, and so they were the victims of one of their 2-0s, and then they were able to rebound in a 2-0 of their own, and sitting at 4 points there. At 3 is BNZ. So they had that really game of the week in week 1 where it went to 3 rounds, and then unfortunately met up with Plex in week 2. So they're sitting there with 3 points, and then rounding out the bottom, you've got the two teams that are playing this week, LD and SXP. So yeah, yeah. It's been interesting. So um, jumping into the game itself, let's see. The first game of the week. Let's take this
I
tab
think
down
it was
quickly.
Suck versus LD. That was the first
It
Saturday.
was, yeah, it was Suck vs. LD, and that one was fairly quick. Um, I think. Let's see. Let's fix my screen now and share this one, and we can go through it. But I mean, what a bounce back game for Suck. I mean, if you were watching, I spent a lot of time watching Ralph, and he was, yeah. So the game was 16 minutes long. Didn't go the full 10. In only the first match, second match, was not 10 minutes. I was watching Ralph. He was all over the place, man. Like in some of the game, like the first game, he got some touches, not as many touches as Blair did. So it seemed like Ralph was definitely more mid. And 2 of his captures were pickup captures. So yeah, I think he was kind of flying all over the map, helping, and he got 13 flag defenses. So he was helping Blair run, and he was helping Zen D very effectively in round 1, and that really continued, throughout round 2. They just did it at a faster pace. Like in this case, it seems like Ralph, they didn't really get any pickup captures. They were just straight, they were able to get by the defense of LD pretty easily. So I mean, I think Stuck really had a great bounce back game, and got to give it up for Zen too. I mean, 140 frags across 2 rounds there. The amount of damage he had, over 3,000, well, almost 3,000 more damage than the next person. They just played a really good game, and I think I said this at the draft too, but people will sleep on Zen and Blair. Like, yes, they might be somewhat rusty, but they are
And
both
old.
champions and old, yes, but they're both champions. So, really good bounce back game from Suck. They practiced a lot all week, and it was cool to see them, come into the game.
I was
And
thinking, like, when I was watching it and I was streaming it, right? So after the first round, I thought that maybe LD could make some adjustments and take another, go another 10-minute round and try to tie
yeah,
it or be a lot closer. But
kind of like week 1.
yeah, kind of like week 1. I was like, all right, let's see what they adjust. And I don't know, I think they did the wrong adjustments, whatever they did, or maybe they didn't do an adjustment. I think one thing worth mentioning is that Christian didn't play. It was Dosu, and I don't know
Yes.
how out of shape Dosu is, and I don't know what they practiced. I don't know if it would have made a difference. Who knows? But it is a factor. But nonetheless, I mean, when you go to round 2 and you watch that game, like it's Suck just had their number. I mean, there's just nothing that they could do. Really, it's
Yeah.
just a matchup thing at that point.
I mean, it was almost, a capture every minute for the first 4. And then, I mean, look at this. Like, Blair had the flag, 25 seconds. I mean, that could have been a standoff, or that just
I
like,
mean, look at that 6 seconds. He literally just grabbed it and ran straight across.
yeah, yeah. And I think I was saying this a lot. I don't know if I was on voice or not. Maybe I was just saying it out loud to myself, but no, I think we watched it on voice together, actually.
No,
And
I was. You were muted. I mean, I was muted because I was streaming, so you were probably talking to
our
Skull Rush.
our team, yeah. But so Blair kept going up the lift and then going down the lift and going up the lift and then going down and going the other way. And I was just like, "What, Blair? What the fuck are you doing?" But that's like one of those captures where he got, for 25 seconds he was holding the flag. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what LD could have done differently necessarily. Like maybe having Christian play would have
I don't
changed
think
it,
he was
but
available, but I think maybe they just should have answered the back with their own capture and just play like a toss up all low at that point, especially after those first like 3 captures. It's like, what do you
well,
got to lose, right?
What I can say is that following this game, LD traded Dosu to the free agency and picked up Asgar. So, maybe it was just something that wasn't working for them. But we'll have to see how they bounce back in week 3, which, like, okay, as the host of the radio, certainly hope that you bounce back in week 3. As your opponent in week 3, I don't want you to bounce back in week 3. So we'll see. But, you know, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Well, I mean, the one thing to note is that it's a very dire game. You know,
It's a dire game for both teams,
yeah, for
for
three
sure.
going 0-3, you might as well just hang it up.
You might as well. I mean, in a 5-week season, this is not like 8 weeks like we used to have, where you could maybe lose 3 games and get into the playoffs with like even potentially a losing record. Like
Yeah,
only.
that's what
Oh,
happened with my first idea with Hayton Higgs, and when Metal
hmm.
bailed, of course. We won.
Yes,
We got in because there was, I think, what TKV or something, or maybe a Lord British team was like really bad and worse than us. I don't know who was at captain. Could have even been what's his name? The one that was always the coach. I can't remember his name.
Ladna,
No. The other one, the one that traded Hate to EBL that one season when he was like,
goat face.
yeah, it might have been like a goat faced or LB team that was like really bad. They had a worse record than us,
Yeah,
and we're able to get in with a losing record in our own division. So I mean, when it's 5 like this, you can't really rack up too many losses or you're out.
yeah. I mean, we can definitely we'll have some opportunity to chat about the desperateness of this week, but desperation. But our second game of the week was Plex and BNZ. Even shorter game. If you look at that total game length time, it was 10 minutes and 50 seconds. And I mean, for anyone that's not aware, don't know why you wouldn't be aware if you're watching this, but like, you know, matches are 10 minutes long. So they were able to do this pretty quickly. And I mean, let's just take a look at the overall stats. Like, where did they go wrong? Well, I mean, it's going to be pretty much impossible to outfrag Plex at this point, but there was a 74 frag discrepancy between the two teams there. As well as if you look here at the power ups, Plex was able to grab the power up 16 times across both rounds, and BNZ was only able to get it once. And I'll tell you that if you combine the frag power of Ninja Dog and Poto with the power up, if you look down there, who got the most power ups? Ninja Dog. He got 14 of them. I mean, come on. Like, the guy's also got 11,000 damage and he's got 112 frags across both games, like 5 captures. I mean, if you're going to give somebody like that the power up every single time, then you're probably looking at, a scenario like this. And I get it. It's not easy. But I don't know, I'm not really sure what kind, if any, adjustments were made because, like, yes, BNZ scored 1 in round 2, and actually they started off, I remember this, they started off with the first capture. And you're like, huh, okay. And then it was just, I mean, right here, okay, these 3, 4, and 5, there was 20 seconds between 3 and 4, and 20 seconds in between 4 and 5. So you're talking in the span of less than a minute, they've scored 3 flags. So something, went bonkers there for BNZ. So I don't really know, but it looks like they definitely evened it up a little bit in terms of the power ups in round 2. So yeah, I mean, I just don't know. I don't know what they
and
could have done differently.
and that's what I was thinking too, because it's like, you know, Legion is a fragger, right? He learned how to become a fragger over the years, and Stallion is a turret, right? He's not how he used to be, right? Because he doesn't play every day anymore, but he's still a formidable player, and X Wizard too. So to me, it was kind of a shock that they got kind of like just handled like this. I was kind of expecting it to be a closer game. I expected this to be like a game that could potentially go 3 rounds or at least be really close and be like a 2-1 or a 3-2, right? Or 3-1 at worst. But I mean, it got 0-5 and then 1-5, and the second round was even faster. I mean, maybe it was
Yeah.
the power ups because you know how, you know, when you get that power ups, depending on who you are, you tank like 5, 6 shots. So I think one of the things that maybe they could have done was maybe just be little bit more dire. And if somebody, if like I said, Ninja Dog grabbed the power up, everybody's gun needs to point immediately to him. I think maybe that could have helped a bit. I don't know, but you know, it's because I know they did a couple of blue armor captures, Ninja Dog and Poto. I remember that. I was like, dang, that's that power up right there. That made the difference for that run.
Yeah, on this map you can just
Hmm.
take the blue and you can just go, and that's like,
You're zooming across and eating
yeah,
shots.
there's not many maps where you can do that, but this one it's like, yeah, super easy to do that on. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm really not sure what they could have done differently. I think
I
definitely
mean,
round one
maybe it could
power
have been a lack of practice. I know they're one of the teams that has to practice real late at night when everybody's like in bed. So
maybe.
you know, maybe there's not that many people
Maybe,
around. Could
but to
be.
be fair, like Ninja Dog and Poto, they don't get to practice. Like they only practice on Saturdays or whatever. So
I
together
think I saw them
Friday
a couple
nights,
of times throughout the week, but yeah, I mean, yeah, they don't.
it's not as easy. Yeah,
Yeah. So, but that's how it rolled out. So that was kind of
yeah,
a
and
shock.
it's the map. I think this map, especially the first 2 weeks, were really tailored for high powered fragging, and it just suited it suited Plex really well. And it's certainly not to take away from anything that they did, because you know
No, they
they're
came
just,
in and came up to
yeah.
play with their A game, you know. And
So
sometimes
it'll
your
be
own A game isn't enough.
right. So it'll be interesting to see how BNZ adjusts for week 3. I mean, yeah, we'll talk about that, but yeah, this was a pretty solid victory from Plex.
I mean, and
And
when you think about frags on this map, you know, it's kind of funny because in a way, frags kind of matter on this map and kind of don't. Because it's not just like
yes,
getting raw frags, it's also getting the right frags. Because there were times in practice where, like, when we were playing, we got out fragged by like 20 and 30, but won, right? Or tied, right?
right.
It's like, it's just what kind of frags are you getting? So, you know, maybe they were just getting both. Maybe they're getting the filler frags and the right frags for Plex.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, it's tough to say. Like, there's definitely a point where I think frags. I mean, frags truly don't matter, right? What matters is that you're capturing a flag, but there is a point where frags do, like, you can't sit here and say that if somebody's getting uh, 200 frags over the course of a round, that they're not gonna, like, the likelihood of them winning is probably higher. Like, so yeah, I don't know. I it's interesting to me how this season has gone so far with the amount of um, heavy fragging teams. I think that's, I really do. I think it's map dependent, but I guess we'll have to see how the season plays out. I mean, if we're talking about um, our game was another 2 rounder. I felt like, and of course, I know you didn't play, so you can probably give some different insight. But for me, if I want to look at like round 1, we had our opportunities, right? But story here is the touches and the power ups. We were really good. I felt like at times we always knew the timing of the power up, you know, but we could not get it. We just couldn't get the fucking thing. It was killing me. I mean, I managed to get it a couple times, but like it didn't turn into any flags. So I was happy that we were able to keep BG from scoring more than 3. I think there were a couple opportunities for us that we just didn't take advantage of in the first round. But I mean, the story was, to me, the power up discrepancy, and then in round 2 again the power up discrepancy, um, and touches. Like we only got 15 touches. They had more than double that. And I think, like, yes, we scored in the first minute. Uh, but then they scored three in a row. So in my mind, around this time, right, we had the strategy of 2D at first because it not straight full D, but like one D, one mid D, and then I would push up as the mid D after I cleared it, and it was not clearly not working. So I decided to switch to something that we really hadn't practiced, which was just I will full on D myself and just have Dragon run with Skull Rush. And I think like Dragon scored after I did that, and the more I thought about it, the more I should have adjusted. It's hard to think about these things during the game, but it's like then we should have pulled back a little bit instead of kept keeping the pressure on, and just try and do like some sort of an ebb and flow of the game. But I know there was some talk amongst our team like, why did I do that? But sometimes you just get you have a feeling about what might work and what might not. Clearly, we had been scored on 6 times and we had only scored once. So what we were doing was not really working anymore at all. So got to try something. And it rolls like that sometimes. This was a really tough team to play on this map. And yeah, they did a really good job. I mean, Disparel and Shane were doing a good job of running together. They were a hard duo to stop. I'm surprised that we were able to stop them from scoring 5 in round 1. So, yeah, I mean, what could we have done differently? Certainly get the power up more times and get more touches. I don't know.
I mean, there was a couple of times where you guys had a chance to, or we had a chance to score because we were in our flag just wasn't there. Like I was watching, and I see like you were close to scoring, but when you got that flag standoff, it's only a matter of time before you die. You can't you can't hide. You're going to get your ass found out. They're going to find you real quick and put an end to you. You can only run around in circles so many times, before it's just one of those things.
Yes.
It's just how the map is. It's just flat.
Yep.
Can't hide too much. They go top. They know you're not there. They know you're either in the flag room or in the lobby area or the side. Like that's all there is to it. Or hiding in the corner. So
yeah, we didn't take advantage of our standoffs, and those are tough. Like, I mean, it's 50-50, I yeah. It's unfortunate. It's definitely like, for the amount of time that we've spent practicing, I know that we're going to break through one of these times, but it is frustrating to do this over and over again and, unfortunately not win. But I got to give BG credit. They played a really good game. I mean, and there's a reason why they're at the top of the leaderboard
right.
with 8 points.
I mean, it's not like they were a bunch of scrubs, right? I mean, they're second
No,
place. They're top, first place, right? So, I mean, there was going to be tough no matter what we did,
Yeah.
So the only thing we can do is just kind of learn from this and keep it in mind moving forward when it comes to facing other teams.
Yep. And I mean, keeping that in mind and moving forward to facing other teams brings us to week 3 heavy weapon dudes. And I would love to hear, your thoughts on that, on this map so far.
Oh, yes, this map. Ooh, can we go back to week 2?
I'm gonna. Yeah, right.
Okay. Here's the thing about this week's map. It depends on what you're doing. If you're running this map, you're going to have the time of your life. If you're playing mid in this map, you'll probably be okay. You maybe play some TDM for a bit and get some captures. If you're playing D, it's a fucking pain in the ass when you have coordinated runs against you. And it's so easy to just slip out and just turn the match into a flag standoff. And it's majority of the time it's a flag standoff. Like there's no way around it. It's kind of like the old Smart CTF 06, except on steroids when it comes to standoffs. Because it's just a bigger map and there's way more places to hide and every little crevice and that jump to just escape and shake off your opponents. And I don't know, it's just one of those maps where it doesn't feel like you can apply traditional strategy to it. It's more just like, all right, let's just collide in the middle and then try to cause chaos and see who comes out on top of this chaos. At least what I've seen, because I know we've done some stupid stuff in practice. It was successful because people aren't expecting it, right? It's just, and coming from a mapper standpoint, I hate getting caught on every little crevice, every corner that there is in this map. And I hate colliding with opponents, your own teammates in the skinny ass hallways. I can't stand it. You're fighting the map too, not just your opponents, and that's what makes it frustrating. So
Yeah.
that's my thoughts quickly.
Yeah, I mean, let me let me get comfortable while we talk about this. 1 second.
Get your vocal cords ready.
Well, it's also like fucking. I don't know why I poured that. It's like loaded with honey, so it's making my throat. But yeah, what when we were practicing with Skull Rush, I think we were all like yelling about something different. And what I wanted to say was like, you're you have to suspend your belief that anything about this map makes sense. It doesn't. No matter what you do, you could have a game where you do so well, and, and you feel confident in yourself. You win 5-1, 5-2, whatever. It's like 4 minutes long. The very next game, you can do the exact same fucking thing against the exact same team, and you can then lose 5-0. It just it doesn't add up, and that's why you just you. I hate it, and I really like it because it's different. It's not ZDCTF map one over and over again. Um, it it allows for both teams to just try whatever, like try anything, and then to make adjustments, and then the adjustments could work, and it's very interesting. I don't I have not played a map like this map before. It was really confounding to me. What, four seasons, 4 years ago? Whenever, I think 2021 when we did
Yeah,
that
we
season.
when it came out, or WDL ran it for 21, and I remember playing it, and I was like, oh, where's Smart CTF 06?
Yeah. Right.
I'm not
No,
even
I
like
remember.
I'm not even the biggest fan of like C6. I'm not that great at it, but I'd rather struggle with that than this, right? Just
I Yeah, I remember playing this map with Dev and Alt Stab, and then like we practiced it, and I swear, like I had a plan, and then that plan didn't work out, and so like I don't know, it's like you could play with the best players, and you just have to like. I know this is a stupid thing to say because it should be this for every map, but you really just have to practice everything and then see what the other team does. And then, depending on what the other team does, that's how you adjust what you do. Do you do that every game? Yes, but like, I also think I don't mean just like, hey, they're going this route over and over again. Let's get up there and stop them. I'm talking about, hey, you played 44 games as a defender, and we did really well, but now it's not working anymore. So now you're going to run, and it's like, oh fuck, like that. I'm talking about like complete lineup positioning changes that are extreme. So um, that's the best I can say about it. And there's a fucking BFG. So in case all of that wasn't hard enough,
the panic button.
BFG, yes, the panic button.
Well, in fairness to the BFG, it's a one-time use. Like treat it as a power-up because it has like a 30-second
Yeah,
cooldown, right?
yeah,
So it's more of like a power-up, but it's not necessarily like that important. It's more of like a
yeah,
utility. If you use it, you use it. If you don't, you don't. Because you see in the picture, you teleport right back there, right where that green texture is. For those that don't know, like you teleport, you see the person there, you're standing there. I mean, you're gonna get fucking fragged like 90 times before you can
yeah,
even shoot it. Um, I mean, yeah, you're right. I think the other thing to consider about when you say you should be practicing everything, you got to consider that in some maps everything isn't very effective, right? And
yes.
then, but when you play this map, almost everything is effective. So it's
Sometimes
different
it's
too,
effective. Sometimes everything is effective.
right?
Sometimes it's not effective at all. I
A lot more
this is
strategies are more viable here than like let's say you're playing map 31, So
yeah.
it's a bit more difficult to deal with that.
This is completely off topic, but I think it relates to this. Um, I was shopping somewhere with my mom, and my aunt likes these kind of stores, and so she went into one, and my mom was like, "Ugh, now she's gonna be in there, for whatever." And I was like, "The sooner you just submit to it, like the faster it's gonna go. Like let's just accept it. She's in there. Let's do it, and then leave." That's how I feel about this. The sooner you just submit to the idea that you're not crazy. The map is crazy. Everything you try, it might work, it might not work. It's going to go better. You're not going to get mad. You're just going to go, well, it's a fucking stupid scenario. Oh, well, try again next time. Like it's just, I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to yell. It's not going to happen.
It's just brutal because, like, depending on who you're running, like if you're playing against them jump maze uh, people, they they can just grab that flag and then you blink of an eye, they're already immediately like, how the fuck did he get there so damn quick? Like,
But it is the beauty of the WDL and
yeah.
and Doom leagues in general, which is like, as an old fart or whatever I am now, I am learning things from players that I didn't know before. So that's kind of cool.
I mean, I don't mind the tricks and stuff. I mean, let's look at it this way. This takes a step into the right direction away from just the mindless fragging of the first two maps, the grinding. It's just, it's like it steps in a way to a more of a balanced offering and then sidesteps into like shit for some reason. Steps on dog shit on the way. I think
Yeah,
my biggest gripe is just everything you just get cut up on. I mean, I understand
yeah.
why he did that main entrance, but I mean, it's just so obnoxious to just hit corners or run into your teammates. Because even like when we were playing random dudes, right, like Despero and Poto or something, like even Despero was getting annoyed because it's like he runs out and his teammates like hugging him and filling him up
Tough
for
map.
like 5 seconds and then he gets fragged. And that's how it is. You're just constantly like playing pinball with everybody and getting shot around and your teammate you block is. If it was
It's
just a little
actually
more
really
breathing
fun.
room, if it was a little
I
more
have
breathing
to
room,
say,
I'd be okay. I mean,
I'm
it's fun,
having
but
I'm having a lot of fun. Uh,
I just want more breathing room here and there. That's all.
yeah, I get you. I get you. Um, but let's jump into the games this week. So looking
Right.
down the schedule, we'll just talk about our game. I think our game is scheduled first for so far for Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. So it's, I mean, if we were talking about it before, but it is desperation time. I would say whichever team doesn't win this, and it would be fascinating if we tied somehow. Whichever team doesn't win this, um, it's going to be really hard to come out of that hole, and make the playoffs. Really, only 4 teams make the playoffs. So if you go down 0-3, that's more than half of your season that you've lost. So all I can say about it is maybe it's the match of the week, for that reason. Like maybe everyone's going to tune in to see who the biggest loser is. I don't know.
I think there could potentially be two matches of the week. I mean, you have us, playing the last place, trying to stay out of last place, and then you have, uh, yeah, BG and Plex, the two first places going head to head. I mean, I think that's going to be really interesting. You got
That
two
is actually going to
extremes.
be the game of the week. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're going to see like the two guys that have been wrecking everybody and just see who's going to wreck the other one better.
Yeah, I mean, I won't comment too much on like our game, obviously, but I know Sharp is a great runner, and so that'll be fun to play with. Uh, Vinny and Christian are good, and Asgar has been around as well for a long time, so it's going to be a good game. I mean, all I can say is I don't want to go 0-3, so anything I have to do to win. So
And
the
then
next what
Charge sucking B and Z. That's the second
yeah,
game. It's scheduled
sucking B and
actually.
Z.
Yeah,
It
on
is. It's
Sunday.
scheduled for Sunday at 11:15 Pacific. So 2:15, very specific time, 2:15 Eastern. This should be interesting. I mean, these are the two teams in the middle. I think it's Boomer versus Boomer here.
Let's see whose bones are all dustier and
Yeah, let's
hurt
let's
more, right?
see let's see who's got worse carpal tunnel than me. It's I think I mean we've been playing Legion on this map in practice. I mean, I think he's a really good runner here, um, and it'll be interesting. I think this map is kind of tailor made for the Ralphus playstyle. I'm very interested to see how Ralph plays and how he sets up his team. I did see Mertz practicing a lot, so possibly we could see the debut of him in the WDL.
I mean, yeah, I don't see them fielding Blair when he's been gone all week, right? So it's obviously going to
True.
be Zen, Ralph, and Mers. I just haven't seen them practice together like that yet, and they probably won't
Mm,
till Friday or Saturday.
they did last night.
They did last night. Okay, I think that was
They
like the
did.
first time, right?
Yeah,
So
but I mean, Mertz is coming in like it's funny because I know that he has some. Um, I don't want to say complaints, but just like he's not used to Odomex like he is used to Zandronum, but the guy's like even still he's getting like 80
nah,
frags a game.
I'll just come out and say it. This fucking dude's just like this shit doesn't work, and he like one hit shots everybody. Like, all right, buddy, who are you kidding?
Yeah,
He hits fine. He's not having any problems. He's hitting everybody, and he's gonna hit people in this match. It's. I think their frag powers is going to be pretty equal, and it's just going to be a Ralphus style map. He likes to run that heavy offense, and
yeah,
we'll see how Stow and Wizard, what they're going to answer with, and Legion as well. So
yeah.
they may run chain. Who knows? Maybe they got a mapper's insight of some like secret tech that nobody's discovered yet.
That's right. Maybe there's I
A
don't know,
hidden switch, a hidden blue armor,
a
maybe
hidden dance floor. I don't
a
know.
hidden dance floor. Maybe you can escape the map. You never know.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. I mean, I'm actually super excited to see this because also, really, if you think about it, like let's say one of these two teams, let's say they lose 2-0, then let's say one of our in our game, we win 2-0, whether it's us or LD, right? So then that puts three teams kind of in this um, bottom feeding, like trying to get up to that last playoff spot. So it's an important game for both of these teams as well.
Right.
They have to keep the momentum going. Suck is looking to continue, where they left off. And will you just sit here, please? Thank you. And BNZ is trying to come off a loss, so I think they'll both be pretty desperate for a win here.
Yeah, I mean, especially like I think so far when you look at the matchups, this week is going to be a lot more exciting than last week. I felt like as a spectator, maybe somebody who's not even in the playing in the league, last week probably was boring.
Yeah.
Listen, there's no real excitement.
Yes.
You couldn't even try to pretend like it was just really across the board, like bam, one sided. So this one will probably be a
Yeah.
lot more back and forth. I think we may see maybe we could see some round threes and everything, really, just because of the way the map is.
That would be exciting. Yeah, I could
Hmm.
totally see that happening.
And that also affects points too.
It does.
At this
I,
point, everything matters. Every round starts to really matter.
yeah. So give me a prediction then. Give me a prediction for this
Well,
game.
let's see. So for this game, I mean, right now, B&Z is practicing while we're hosting this radio. So I know they've been
Ah.
practicing every night. Suck barely practiced. Um, I don't know. I mean, I think that who's going to run for B&Z, right? I don't know. Is that going to be Legion? Is Legion going to Legion it?
I think so. I mean, that's the most obvious choice.
Right. I mean,
Um,
because I know that Merz is like he's like a jump maze specialist. So I mean, this is a map where he's gonna feel at home, right?
yeah.
It's so I mean, he can frag, like I said earlier. He's not gonna just zombie run. He's gonna kill you and then jump somewhere that you're not gonna know where he's at. And I think it's just gonna be down to Legion being able to do that against their defense. I guess it's gonna be Zen, right? So if he can get past Zen fairly easily, it's gonna come down to who's gonna control the mid when there's a scramble and who's going to get that lucky shot or that lucky pickup.
And I
But
can tell you that there are going to be a lot of scrambles in this
yeah,
map. So
I think for all these teams, all these games, is going to be a lot of scrambles.
the communication is going to be really important. So I can just imagine X yelling and screaming.
It's really hard to pick who's going to take this one. I mean, you know,
It is.
it's his debut of the season, right? But you can't count Merce out because he can do all that stuff that you want a runner to do on this map. But you have a turret and stallion, you have the power of Legion, and X Wizard too.
Power of Legion.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I know people give him shit a lot, and give him shit for many years, but I mean, he can
no, I know
frag.
Legion's a good player.
He can frag now, and you can't just let him like stand in mid
No,
anymore
totally.
anymore. So
Hey, I trusted him and I put him on D in a finals game.
and it worked, yeah,
And,
yeah.
it worked.
So I mean, he's better than from that time. So I mean,
Yeah.
I will say this: if BNC gets more practice, then I will say they have the edge. Then Suck, if Suck can get some consistent practice from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, right, with their lineup they're going to play, I think they'll close that rusty gap, and I think they might be able to take it just because it's a Ralph map, just
Yeah.
all pure offense and
My first thought
scramble,
was Suck in 3.
right?
I think either of these teams you're not going to 2-0 them.
Yeah,
More than one.
I don't think any of them's going to go down 0-2, right? I think they're both going to take a match, and then whoever takes the first match, the next one's going to adjust, and there's going to be like the third match. Like I can see it being who's going to make the right adjustment and take the
Yeah.
win.
Yep. All right, and the last game, heavyweights, BG and Plex. Man, I don't even know where to begin on this one. Like, and I don't want to talk about it because we've practiced against both teams too much, but I don't want to go into detail. I just think they're set up to play each other very well on this map. I think both teams are quite similar, and I think the things that they do in terms of controlling the map through heavy fragging, they're just very similar. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out, and is able to get flags out. Like, they all have top-notch communication. We already mentioned, like, we've got Poto and Disparel, the jump maze freaks. And there are a lot of jump. Now, who knows? Maybe they don't run. We don't know. But, there's all those things that they can do that I think are going to make these games really interesting. So, it's really going to come down to who controls the middle when their runner comes out. And, that's been something that both these teams have done extremely well throughout weeks 1 and 2. So it's tough to sort of give a prediction, but I mean, I don't know.
I would say that when you look at the names on paper, you can almost just see like if you look at them on the page on the website, you see their lineup. You look at the lineup, it's like collision, 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 collision. And I don't mean the player. I mean like they match up against each other pretty well. Like
Yeah.
you see Nexus Ninja Dog, that's a collision. And then you got Despair and Poto, that's another one. And then Shane and Toby. So, yeah, I don't think they have any real like weaknesses. I think they're both complete teams like that. I mean, they have the record to back it up, right? So, yeah, I think this could go to 3 rounds. I wouldn't be shocked if it was a tie, just because the way it is. Or if it doesn't go a tie, it's going to be like a 1 cap difference. I don't think it's going to be easy for either team, whoever wins, if they do win or if they do tie. I think it's going to be a really chaotic matchup. I really think it's going to come down to the coordination of the offense in the mid and protecting the flag. Well, I mean, obviously that's every fucking map, but I mean, there's different levels to this, right? Because if they approach it like traditionally, like, flag D, cover mid, or whatever, like it's just going to go back and forth nowhere. They're going to have to take those 2-0 opportunities and go for a scramble and maybe give up their flag and try to get back to their base, right? That's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah.
Who's going to control the chaos or start it, right? Who's going to initiate it?
Yeah.
And who's going to finish it? That's what it's going to be for these two teams. I see it like that.
Yeah, I think like I don't know. It's going to come down to how well Toby can adapt, because I think of all the players, he probably practices the least. So I mean that's not that big of an issue, but I mean if you're comparing it to the amount that Shane, Disparel, and Nexus play, it's certainly not up there with them. So it's gonna okay enough. It's going to I think that's going to be a big impact on on that team. So I don't know. I guess if I had to choose something, um, I think honestly I would choose Plex in 3, but that's based purely on the fact that Ninja Dog is nuts. So
I mean, yeah, Ninja Dog is nuts too, but I think the crazy one on Body BG is Nexus, right? Because
oh
he
totally,
also
yeah,
can, he's not that far behind Ninja Dog when you think about like raw frag power. He can lock down a defense really well and anticipate where you come because he duels like he's arguably probably the best dueler we have right now. So he's going to approach the fence like that and position himself right. So
but I wonder if they're going to go up against each other.
I,
Will they play the same position, or because Ninja Dog is generally out roaming
yeah,
the map like a fucking serial killer, and Nexus
it
is
could be.
defending. So
Yeah. It could be that Ninja Dog will play mid and Poto will play D. Because Poto has shown he can play D, right?
I think maybe even Toby might play D.
That's true. I mean, if you want to run like more of like your heavy offense in the front line,
Yeah,
I think that could also work too. And
yeah,
it
they have
just
a lot
depends
of
on how they want to
options.
run it, but
Yeah.
they probably will collide in one way or another
Mm.
for those 3 rounds that we predict might happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's it. I guess we'll see, starting Saturday what's going to happen in week 3, but can you believe it? I believe the trading deadline is now passed, so the teams are what they are. Um yeah. Any
Yeah.
final words before we go into that gentle night?
Yeah, I was kind of shocked that nobody did any trades, but I mean, I don't think there's like a lot of stragglers in free agency, because there's
Not
a lot of
really.
players that didn't really play too much in Pride before the season started. You have, I think the only trade was what LD for Asgar and Tosu, the swap right there. Mm, yeah, so teams are locked in. I think
Yeah.
there may have. I'm just shocked that no trades were made, right? But maybe it's just how it is. Maybe everyone's confident in what they picked, so we're locked and loaded for that. And to be honest, I'm surprised we're already in week 3. It just seemed like the draft was just yesterday, right?
Flying by.
It
The
just
wait
went
the
by,
wait for the season was longer than the season itself.
right?
So,
The signups period seemed longer than the fucking season
yeah.
so far.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it, what was it? Week 3, and then yeah, by the end of October we should be finishing up. So yeah, because this
Yeah.
is the November 1st is that Sunday, so that's when playoffs are going to start, right? That third, I believe, going by
Yep.
the schedule. So
Yep. It's coming fast.
yeah, I mean, this season's going to be over by mid-November, so it, it's just kind of funny, when you come back from when you're used to those 7-8 week seasons, you really underestimate how quickly 5 weeks is. It
Yeah.
just
I don't
goes
know
by.
how we did it. I don't know how we did it back then. So,
I think we just had more people. We just had a lot of more
more
people
time.
and more
More
time
time.
too. No, I mean, I think I can. I think we could have stretched out a 6 week season. Everybody,
6, sure. But 8, 7, no.
well, 7. If we had 8 teams, maybe I could
Maybe.
see a reason for 7. But remember that one season with 9. I don't think we'll ever do that again. But we also probably are never going to see 12 teams again, right? Because that was that
Maybe.
season we had 12, right?
Yeah, we did have 12. Yeah.
Like it's just that when we run that long seasons, it's not like we ran it with 6 teams or even 8. Like
Yeah.
it was with 12. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's just what we did because that's how many people were around. So,
It's very true.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe some of these other people who didn't get drafted, maybe next season, next time that they run, maybe they'll be the ones captaining
You
or
know,
drafted.
they should. And there's still an opportunity for them to play if somebody doesn't show up. It just means that, if you have to trade somebody out on free agency and they play in a game, that means they're on your team. So,
Yeah,
um,
and that's happened before many times where somebody just
yep,
can't make it or they stop showing because I think there's every season that's ever been there's somebody that just no shows the team, right?
yep,
It happens without fail, right? So I mean, some of those free agents I don't have the list on hand, but there's a chance their chance isn't exactly less than one, but it's greater than zero, right? So I mean,
yep, yep.
so we'll see what happens with
We will
that.
see. We'll catch you guys next week on WDL Radio after week 3.
All
Thank
our
you, Rust.
all our sweet Euros listening on their way to
Yes,
work or something.
all two of you. Yes,
Two
thank
of them
you.
are probably like Capo or something in an
That's
alternate
right.
account.
Yeah, someone's taking a screenshot of me and putting it on a burger right now.
No, I think Kill Strike is asleep, so he's not going to be doing that one right now.
Okay, he'll do it tomorrow. Yeah. All right. See you next week.
Yeah.